Welcome back, guys. In this video, we will be making a low poly character from the anime music video Killing Giants. This is the first from the 3 videos of my first Create a Scene series. Stay tuned for the next ones. Alright, let's get started. We first start by shaping up how large the face of the character would be. I usually start like this since it is much easier for me to eyeball the proportions of the other body parts the model would have. Typically, the face would not exceed the middle square grid located at the floor. This model was a little bit difficult since I only had limited references to base the model from, but with enough perseverance, I was able to make it work. For the ears, cylinders are always my best choice as it lessens the work I have to do if it were any other shapes. Plus, shaping it is pretty simple and quick. I took my time shaping the face since I wanted to make this model stand out from my previously made models. Even after putting in the neck of the model, I still made a lot of adjustment with the head. Since anime characters typically have very narrow necks, I wanted to make sure that I follow that logic while still keeping the anatomy proper. Here, I duplicated the face and used it as a temporary block out for the character's hair. It is not to be used as a final base for the hair. I did this in order to make sure that the overall shape of the hair that I was going for would look alright. This part is basically like sketching in drawings, where you draw guidelines that you will eventually erase. For the bangs, I used cuboids to block those out. Luckily, unlike my Ramona model, this one had a much more simple hairstyle. The only hair-related problems I had to encounter here was shaping the bangs, which was pretty easy, but tedious. I did notice that I spend a lot of time making the hair look right with my models. Having a good-looking hair does make your models look better and attractive. Plus, if you put in the work with making the hair look great as possible, it will make your model unique and much more recognizable. So, if you plan on making your character have a cool hairstyle, be patient with the process. The result is always worth it. Now that I've finished blocking out the hair, I replaced them with shapes that I would use as a base for the actual hair. For the main hair mass, I used a cylinder and smoothed out its top area to create a nice looking bowl-shaped hair. From here, I continued to shape the hair. And while I was at it, I quickly made a pair of glasses for the character. Slowly but surely, I was starting to like how the model looked like. Here is the tedious part of making the bangs look cool. I had to make weird loop cuts just to make the shapes of the bangs possible. Since I did not want to model another bangs, I just duplicated the front bangs and just transformed and reshaped it. This works well enough. Here, I was testing out how I would be making the pointy parts of her hair. I then did this process for all the necessary hair points. As you can see, it is starting to look like the character from the references. To check whether or not the face and hair look great, I recorded a turntable to see if at all angles the model looks good. I then proceeded to blocking out the remaining body parts of the character. As you can see, I added new references. Though it does not match with the character I am making, it was better to have references than none at all. Once I was done with the overall proportions, I started working on the chest. I first started making singular loop cuts first to see if I would not need more loop cuts. It is also to make sure that I do not go overboard and add too much faces, which will defeat the goal of it being a low poly model. I then continued on with the other body parts of the model with this rule kept in my mind. Since I wanted the uniform sleeves to be fluffy, instead of just being a texture, what I did for the arm was to shape into this inverted carrot shape. I also added a cube for the armpit area of the character. I did this since this part is also a fluffy uniform. Since the sweater is drooping over the skirt, what I did is add a loop cut on the stomach mesh I have made and angled it to look better. For the skirt, I used a tube mesh to first see how long the skirt should be. Then, I shaped the pelvis mesh into the overall shape of the skirt. One of the more fun parts of this model was making the goat mask the character has on her head. It was simple to make. It was just a cuboid with a couple of loop cuts to smooth it out into a teardrop-like shape. Then I added spheres for the nose and eyes. I also added ears to it on a separate folder so that I would be able to rig it and pose it. After making sure that everything was already modeled and rigged, I then proceeded to texturing the model. I started by testing out colors I picked from the references. I was looking for base colors that looked nice. I hope this video helps you out when making a low poly model similar to this. As I said earlier, this is the first of the 3 videos I am releasing for my first Create a Scene series. There would be more to come in the upcoming weeks. Stay tuned when those ones get released. Also, I would like to say thank you as the channel keeps on getting more and more support from you guys. I appreciate your likes and comments in my posts and videos. I never thought that the channel would reach this big of an audience. Thank you to all of you. Now, here's the complete model of this video.